in life. We're all eyes open, showing our inside and light so bright.
Hello everyone, I'm Donna Devane, the Barefoot Guru, station owner here of the Awakened Radio Network, and I would like to invite you to be an active part of our Awakened Radio Network family. We have a live chat room on our station website at awakenedradio.net. We also have forums where you can interact and communicate with our host and with other listeners. We also have opportunities for you to find out who's on, what they're talking about, who are they. Check out our schedule, as well as our Meet the Host page, where you'll get all the information of who's talking on our airwaves and what their message is that they're bringing to you. And if you have a message, something that just burns within you that you must share with the world, then I invite you to add Awakened Radio to your Skype and send me a message so that we can make arrangements to talk about getting you and your message on our airwaves. Awakened Radio is doing more than talking about the problems and talking about how we need to change. We actually are experiencing ourselves as the ones creating the change. Join us. Take part in the Awakened Radio Network family. Visit us today, www.awakenedradio.net. And remember, our website is mobile. You can listen to us through TuneIn. Most mobile devices have a music app. Look for Awakened Radio. If you don't find our station there, then send me an email, awakenedradio@gmail.com, and I will make sure to get them to add us so that you can listen on the go. Be sure and check out our fan page at Facebook. We're Awakened Radio. Follow at Awakened Radio on Twitter and at Real Donna Devane on Twitter. Be part of what we're doing. Answer the invitation. Join us, because we are doing more than talking about change. We are knowing ourselves to be the energy of change. I love you.
Welcome. You are now tuned in to Your Unfolding Senses on Awakened Radio. I'm your host, Rob Ragazine. This show is all about opening to and listening to your full intuitive capabilities. I offer tips and techniques such as meditation, dream work, and more for relaxing and connecting to your intuition. I'm on the air Thursday at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. This show is brought to you by intuitionbyrob.net, helping you to connect to your own inner wisdom. Please enjoy the show and invite your friends. Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's 10 p.m., October 3rd, 2013. Welcome to Your Unfolding Senses. I'm your host, Rob Ragazine. Thanks for joining me tonight. Your Unfolding Senses is all about opening to your inner wisdom, and we're all intuitive, and I think that's the most important message that you can hear. On this show, we talk about the tools and techniques for centering, connecting inward, and learning to truly listen. Of course, with a focus on helping you to find the tools and methods that work for you. Feel free to call in and ask questions or comment on what works for you. Tonight's show will be about change, so I've been posting on Facebook to call in and contribute to how you overcome your obstacles and challenges. What works for you? So you can join us by coming to awakenedradio.net, click on the live chat tab, or join us on the air by calling Skype through and adding Awakened Radio, or dialing 334-649-7204. Perhaps you've had a dream and that gave you guidance to handle a particular challenge, or maybe you've had a synchronicity or a coincidence and you met up with someone that helped you solve a particular problem. Please do connect with us and share how you've been connecting in to your own inner wisdom and Perhaps you were at the right place at the right time, and you were given guidance that helped you to, as I said, overcome something or move past a difficult obstacle or whatever it was. Welcome to your Unfolding Senses. Again, thanks for tuning in this week. And as you're listening, this is an opportunity to suspend doubt or disbelief, at least for the next hour, as we connect inward, listen to our hearts, and begin to pay attention to the needs of our heart. And gradually the space can unfold out into your life. To begin, let's settle in with a short meditation in which we can feel better connected to our bodies, minds, spirit, and intuition. You can bring a question to mind, such as, how can I welcome change into my life? You might light a candle, and as we are talking about change, you can focus on those questions that revolve around that. So maybe you can form your own question that is best for you. And as you're meditating, allow for a phrase or a sound or a word or a symbol to come through to you. If nothing does, that's okay. Just notice whatever comes into your awareness. Now, finding a quiet space and sitting comfortably or lying down comfortably, making sure you won't be interrupted, of course, and settling in and closing your eyes. Begin to breathe slowly and gently, releasing any doubts or stress from the day, and breathing gently into yourself and your heart. Let your mind quiet and your body rest. Feel yourself filling with peace and tranquility. As you continue to breathe, bring your focus to your heart. What is it I've been asking for? Allow your awareness of your heart to deepen as you breathe. It may send you an image. You may have a sudden memory pop up. Allow that to happen and settle into the inner stillness. Feel all of your senses open, grow and deepen, and know that this is a special place where you can clearly hear your own inner voice, however it chooses to speak to you. Be mindful of how this space feels, and as you connect in, you might ask your question, and your inner ears might hear a word or a phrase. Your inner eyes might see a color, shape, or picture. You might have a flash of a memory from the past, or you might pick up a fragrance or long-forgotten flavor or other sensations. Pay attention to whatever comes up, and if you don't understand it, ask for deeper clarity, allowing whatever comes to come. And if nothing does, that's okay. Don't force anything to happen. Rest in the stillness and inner peace. This could be the very thing your heart has been yearning for. Simply noticing how your body feels and continuing to breathe into the parts of your body that feel tight or stressed, allowing yourself to feel the comfort of this space. Be grateful for this space. Continuing to breathe and releasing anything that might be bothering you. Know that you can come here anytime. You may wish to continue your breathing for a few more moments, but know that we're preparing to leave and have and feel gratitude for this connection and any messages you received. And slowly and gently bringing your focus back to the room and opening your eyes, coming back to your body. Now, last week we talked about inner peace. this week, as I mentioned earlier, our topic will be about change and choice, and really looking at not only how you can apply the things that you already know, but actually using them, and also letting go of the fear and the doubt that keeps us back from the change that we want, and utilizing how do we utilize the guidance that we receive. So looking at dreams, looking at synchronicities to help us with the change that we desire or want in our lives. So it's about really being happy or not. It's really your choice. Wayne Dyer says, be miserable or motivate yourself. Whatever has to be done, it's always your choice. So know that you have a choice. Do you want to feel better and live better? Or do you want to tell yourself that you can't make any changes? Now, October marks a full year here at Awaken Radio for me. That's very exciting. Last year, I didn't know if I could make it through one show. So I'll talk more about that during this show. And now I even host 2 different shows. So if you didn't know, you can tune in on Sunday nights at 9 Eastern and listen to various interviews about people who have made important changes in their lives. So it's a really good way to relate to what you're learning about your intuition, your body, connecting into yourself, and see how others have done it and begun to not only to heal, but to help others heal as well. And during the past year, I've really been looking at change and addressing it and how to heal and shift to help face your important personal issues. And of course, it's not just for you. I know that as I've done my own learning and my own research, I've learned a whole bunch about myself, gotten closer to my own meditation routine, and most of all, really, as I give you the tools, I learn more about them for myself and step more deeply into myself. So if you're looking for a way to learn and grow, might be that you become a radio host yourself. Now, the topics that I talk about resonate with me, although really everything at some point has importance. I've kind of focused on stress, happiness, inner peace throughout the year. And I also, of course, like talking about dreams, numerology, tarot, signs and symbols. So that's the focus here, and we can look at what 2014 will bring us symbolically around change later in the show. And of course, always listening to your heart and making personal time for meditation, for silence, for stillness. And it doesn't have to be that you force yourself to sit on a wooden bench in an empty room. You can go to the beach. For me, it's really, it could be as simple as going to the beach and just sitting and silently and appreciating the waves. That could be your meditation, as I've talked about in the past. That could be the way for you to connect into yourself, to connect to joy, to connect to abundance. What's not more abundant than the waves? And that can really help you to let go of stress and really let go of the constant need to be busy, to be moving. As you sit and watch the waves, you get connected to a deeper rhythmic pattern. Just notice how you are in that space. And most of us recognize that, hey, that's a really comfortable space. But always find the tools that work for you. Whatever works is really what's going to help you to make your changes. And that's what's important here. That's what we're talking about. What works for you? How can you make your own changes? And if meditation isn't it for you, maybe it's yoga or Tai Chi or karate or Taekwondo or just walking. Just pay attention to what speaks to you. Where do you feel called? Listening to your art. Maybe it's gardening. Maybe it's walking, as I mentioned before, silently. And that's the way that you step away from the stress. Do that. And I've mentioned before that I'm a big gadget person, and I've been experimenting with these gizmos that you hook up to your computer, and it supposedly helps you to let go of the stress. And they change things on the screen, and they have all kinds of neat indicators. Not sure what's happening. Looks like it's helping me to relax, but at least I tell myself I'd be in that state. Anyway, I think part of it's sort of contradictory, because now you're almost forcing yourself to make the little lights on the screen change. But it's fun to play with, and that's just for me. For you, it might be, I'm never touching that. I don't even know how to turn my computer on. So don't worry about it, but find something again that really speaks to you. So what is the tool that speaks to you? It's really about looking at what are our blocks. What's holding me back from making the changes that I want? And am I just thinking that, not necessarily me or you, but as we think about making changes and then think about meditation or exercise or whatever, do we get stuck in telling ourselves that we're just too busy to do that? And I was just recently at a local fair doing readings, and that's what I was finding for many people, is they just feel too busy. And I walked through a simple exercise in connecting to your breath last week, and I've gotten compliments about that. People telling me that they really enjoyed being able to go in, connect to their breath, and begin to notice what's really going on inside of their mind and their bodies, and noticing the inner chatter. So if that works for you, and that can be helpful to begin making the change that you really want to make, because it's helping you to see that meditation can help you to slow down, and it can make things a lot clearer, and can be important. And it's not a time waster. It really helps your time to become more efficient, more valuable. And maybe for some people it's that they simply don't know how to tell their parents or their family or their partner that they're going to be meditating. They think, oh, I'm going to look silly, or what will they say, or maybe I'll look like an idiot sitting on a meditation cushion. But again, you don't have to sit on a meditation cushion. You can do a mindful walk, you can go to the beach, you can simply be mindful of whatever it is that you're doing. And I had a whole episode where we talked about mindful awareness of food, so simply mindfully eating your food, and always like to go back to noticing our coffee or tea or whatever your hot beverage or cold beverage of choice is as you drink it. How often do we sit down and take one sip, and then the coffee's gone. Poof, like magic, all gone. So what happened in that 5 minutes or 10 minutes that it took to drink the coffee? You noticed one sip, but all the rest really wasn't noticed. You probably had lots of inner thoughts. You're probably sitting at a keyboard typing away or texting away or whatever it was that you were doing without outer awareness of the coffee or how hot it was or how cold it was, and you simply drank it down without any awareness. And really, the way to connect to our senses, to our body, to our intuition, and to allow it to unfold, the simplest thing is to be mindful of what's going on inside. We can't begin to pay attention to how our body feels within just 5 minutes. How can we do it throughout the day? And that's really where it begins, is 5 seconds, 5 minutes of mindfulness, and let that expand outward. So instead of getting caught up in emotions or memories or worry, to be mindful. Oh, I was drinking my coffee, but then I got lost in a memory. So simply pulling yourself back, going back to enjoy that coffee. Simple, kind of similar to the breathing meditation, where when you recognize that you're getting caught up in emotion or a feeling, to remind yourself, oh, I have to go back to my breath. But in this case, it's going back to enjoying your coffee or the breakfast that you're eating or the meal that you're eating or whatever it is. Be aware of the food as it's really nourishing us and helping us to take another day into our lives and move through it. Whatever it is, whether it's coffee or it's a full meal, it doesn't matter. It's simply paying attention to that food, that nourishment that we're bringing into our bodies that we tend to not notice at all. Now, as I work with people, I tend to hear things like, do I have to do that? Meditation isn't for me. I don't have time for being still. The list goes on. And most seem to relate to not wanting to make changes. But it's not about having or forcing yourself to do anything. Really, don't feel forced or coerced or rushed. It's really about the desire to listen to your heart and create a personal practice that can help you to open fully to yourself. It's not something that's to be checked off the to-do list. It's something that you want to do. It's like exercise or like preparing a delicious meal or a conversation that you're having with someone, to simply enjoy it, to be part of it, to recognize the benefits that come from that. And that's what I've really been talking about all this year. I think that many have kind of an urgency that, well, it's too late for me now. I could have been meditating for my whole life, and I haven't, so there's no time for it, and I'm too busy. But it's really the opposite of that. The time is always right now, in this moment. So to sit down, close your eyes, and meditate for a minute and see how that feels. And if you're able to expand it to 2, and then to 3, then to 10, and really see how you feel when you begin to do it on a regular basis. And it will give you the capability to begin to feel into your body and to notice when you are around certain people, you might get a tingling, or it just doesn't feel right, or it feels really good. To notice these feelings and to recognize kindred spirits within other people, or perhaps people who aren't telling you the truth, or people who might have some wisdom for you. Whatever it is, notice how your body reacts around them. Now we have about 5 minutes until break, and I welcome you to call in after the break at 334-649-7204, or add Awakened Radio to Skype, or come on into the chat room and type a question about change, or a comment or suggestion about what's worked for you. I've been talking this evening about meditation, but I'm really talking about any kind of personal practice that you might have developed in your own life that helped you to relieve stress and overcome any obstacles. So meditation is one of those, but being mindful, perhaps, or having a yoga routine might have helped you to really feel a lot better about yourself. So feel free to call in and talk about that when we get back after the break. I've also have several short meditations, about 10 to 12 minutes each, up in the Awakened Radio store. I'm posting the link into the chat room here at awakenradio.net, and you can go there and look at those. There's a mindfulness one, there's a meeting your power animal, there's a couple others, and of course the breathing exercise where we pay attention to our breath and notice the emotions as they come up. So those can help you to be on your way and really begin to focus more on yourself and the tasks that you're looking to accomplish within your life. Also, I've mentioned this before, since we're talking about 2014 and recognizing the numerological themes, you may wish to go to Amazon.com and look up my book, Your Life Counts, and it's all about listening to the wisdom of your heart and following its guidance as you begin to learn more about where you feel called to be in the world and about following your true path. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a particular vocation, but it simply could be the way in which you naturally lead your life. And I have many different exercises in there that help you to connect in and recognize the natural talents that you're born with, and really it helps you to explore that, and I highly recommend at least trying to begin that as a personal practice for yourself, to learn more about your life path and then begin to explore it more deeply and to recognize where you are connecting into it in your life and where you're dismissing it and telling yourself, no, that seems silly, I can't go that route. I have to stay with my normal routine and my normal job, and that music idea in my head, or whatever that idea is, simply can't be done. It's not possible. But I'm telling you that it is, and the book guides you through listening to that wisdom. So that's one way to do that, and of course incorporating the other tools that I've been talking about throughout the year, like the meditation, like exercise with yoga or Tai Chi, and looking at your home and seeing how it's a reflection of you. And we'll talk more about this when we get back from the break. Thanks for listening.
You won't catch us sleeping through the fight in life. We're all as a
Thank you so much for listening to the Awakened Radio Network. Our website is awakenedradio.net, where you will find information on how to share your message with the whole wide world. Consider being an Awakened Radio host. We provide support, produce for you, help you get listeners. We provide archives for you. We even provide a forum and a host page so that you and us working together can reach the world with whatever it is that you're passionate about. Thank you so much for your consideration. Add Awakened Radio to your Skype. Send Donna Devane a typed message, and she'll get back with you ASAP to arrange a phone call conversation. Have you checked out the new magazine, Thrive Evolutionary Consciousness? Yep. You can submit your article, your poetry, or even your artwork to our new magazine, Thrive Evolutionary Magazine. Reach out to us by visiting our website at awakenedradio.net. Look at the top where it says Thrive Evolutionary Consciousness, and you'll find all the information there that you need to discover how to submit your articles, poetry, or artwork. And we always give something back. We'll hyperlink to the page, the URL of your choice. Let's work together with that Thrival Energy Consciousness for a win-win for everyone. The Awakened Radio Network is more than just a radio station. We're a community, people who care about one another, who support one another, inspire, inform, and motivate one another, lifting us all up to our highest expression. Join us, take part in our conversations at our free chat room, awakenedradio.net/live chat room. We also have forums where you can interact with our host. We love to get feedback from you. Check us out as well on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Awakened Radio. I look forward to interacting with you.
Now tuned in to Your Unfolding Senses on Awakened Radio. I'm your host, Rob Ragazine. This show is all about opening to and listening to your full intuitive capabilities. I offer tips and techniques such as meditation, dream work, and more for relaxing and connecting to your intuition. I'm on the air Thursday at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. This show is brought to you by intuitionbyrob.net, helping you to connect to your own inner wisdom. Please enjoy the show and invite your friends. And we're back, and we're talking about change and developing a personal practice to help you work with issues around change. And when you feel drained or stressed out, or like your time is too short or valuable, that's the time when you can benefit most from a personal practice such as meditation. And I feel like when people are saying, I don't have time, it's really a reflection that you really need to let go of the stress, and it's an opportunity to go inward, and that's where your personal practice can help you the most. But your issues won't necessarily immediately go away, but over time their impact can be greatly reduced, and with regular practice you can have greater focus, greater self-compassion, greater acceptance, and that's the benefit. And there's a large volume of research that shows that our neural pathways are changed for the better when you meditate over time. So I'm focusing on meditation tonight just because of the research like that shows that we're actually changing our physical bodies, our neural pathways, when we meditate, which is incredible. So having a personal practice and being willing to work on yourself isn't about labeling or being right or wrong. It's about making a choice to connect with what's inside, with connecting with inner wisdom from your heart. It's about following it and following your passion. So what change, you might ask, does your heart want for you, and are you ready to begin following its guidance? And part of this might be that you want to maintain the status quo, want to be the same, and have life to go on the way it is, but then you say that you're not happy, so that's kind of a paradox. What do you do? And we can begin to catch glimpses of what's really possible when we see our friends and family who are happy and they're making shifts and changes in their lives, and you see what they're experiencing. So rather than having or feeling jealousy or doubt, why not celebrate their victories, and then you can welcome that into your own life for yourself. Connecting to that energy is exciting. So I welcome you to start to notice where you feel pulled in a certain direction. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about following the wisdom of your heart, following its guidance. What do you feel compelled, an urge to do that's constructive, that's healthy, that's about building something and about being expansive in your life? Part of that means having a sense of curiosity about where you feel called, being curious. What changes would you like to make? Perhaps it can be fostered by simply sitting silently and reflecting on that change, and maybe you'll start to hear that in some form or other, whether you see an image or you hear a sound or just have a sudden sensation that you need to call someone. That's your guidance. So begin to find a way to follow it. Again, be curious and about what can unfold in your life if you allow it, and begin to see that life can be powerful, life can be magic. Then there's lots of possibilities. And of course, we're not talking about pretending or being Pollyannish or putting on a fake smile. Simply opening up to what's possible, what you want to create, what you want to allow. And it starts with you and welcoming the changes that can be possible. It's not too late to make them. So numerologically speaking, 2014 kind of involves choice. That's the theme. Choice. You have a decision to make. It's really about opening to that choice. What are you intending and where are you now? And think about that. And that's the space and the energy of the year, is really thinking about where you've been, where you'd like to go, what your intentions are, and you can really allow something new and powerful and exciting to unfold, or you can stay stagnant or stay the same and wish and hope and desire that you move forward and stay in that tension. And I'm talking about stepping out of the tension of that desire to be somewhere else, because you don't necessarily have to move anywhere else. You can allow something new to unfold into your life, but it really requires that you open up to what's possible. And I have a meditation that we can do that can help you to begin to work with opening to what's possible. And since the theme really is about making choice, and we want to look at the tools that we've talked about during the past year, we can look to the tarot to help guide us and make the changes that we would like to make and to create something new in our lives. And working with the imagery of the tarot can really facilitate change. It's sort of like working with a mini dream, a quick mini dream. So if you have the Seven of Wands in front of you or available to you, I'd suggest that you go find it. It's not necessary. We'll create the imagery in our heads of that card, but this is a way to work with creating something new in your life and connecting to the changes that are possible and believing in ourselves and honoring our own abilities. So if you don't have the card, to bring the imagery, and I'll talk about that in a moment, into your mind, and sitting still or lying down and closing your eyes and bringing the image into view, or just recognizing the energy of that particular card. And in the Rider deck, it's of a person on a hilltop. So imagine yourself on a clear green hill or a bluff, and you have a wooden staff in your hand, and beneath you, coming up the hill, are 6 other people. Maybe you see them clearly, maybe they're just vague shapes, but notice 6 other people with staffs coming to you. You're above them, you're more powerful than them, which is reflected in the card, but notice how you feel about these 6 individuals. You might know inside what they want from you. And again, this isn't about labeling or making you bad or wrong, but they might want something. Just to notice what that is, just like a dream. Each card can have its own vital message for you. So seeing yourself on top of the lush green hill and the people coming towards you, and you might know what they want, you might not. But you're standing firm and noticing how they look. Are they distinct? Are they shadow figures? Feeling into what they need or want. You might not know yet, but notice what happens as you stand your ground. Know that you have more experience, you have greater understanding, compassion, and wisdom. As they approach, you might ask them, what do you need? Or what do you have? Imagine, if you will, that one of them stands forward and responds. What does he say? What does he do? Understand this is a part of yourself. If the figure wants something, then you can visualize yourself giving it to him and seeing the group depart, or maybe not. Depends on whether or not you'd like to ask them another question. If you do, you can ask that of them. If the figure wants to be aggressive, then you might visualize yourself forgiving them and asking them for their forgiveness. Imagine them laying down their staffs and walking away. Whatever happens, find a way to make peace with the card, and when you're ready, opening your eyes and coming back. Now the Seven of Wands is about holding your ground, standing firm, regardless of ongoing situations and challenges. It's about recognizing your own authority, your own power, your own wisdom, and the fact that you can stand up for yourself even if you feel tired. But it does take compassion, it does take courage and persistence. So it's recognizing all of these qualities within yourself, and you can also work with the other sevens in the deck. 2014 numerologically equates to the number 7. And again, we're talking about change and how we might effectively work with the energy around change in our lives to welcome it and to utilize it for our benefit. Now, you might begin to use the energy around change and the dynamics of change to begin to make certain choices in your life to welcome new people, new situations. It depends on what you'd like to welcome into your life and what you'd like to let go of. For instance, letting go of a need to control everything, letting go of a need to have all the answers, and simply beginning to just ask, like we asked the people in the card, what do they need? Did they respond? And to me, when I did the meditation, it was wanting to be of service, but really needing directions and clarity. And that's where the change came for me, and it could be big or small, and for me it's kind of just recognizing my own power and own authority. And in this May, I had a tag sale with friends, which is connected to this, and I gave away books and CDs and some other small things that I brought to the sale, simply because I wanted to experience how it might be to relate differently to a transaction. And it was interesting to see the people's reactions on their faces as they said, "Oh, that's free." And we're going to have another sale this coming week, so I'm going to try to connect with this energy again and ask them to pay it forward, and also to connect with me on my website, or simply on the show or somewhere else, whether in real life or in person, since they have to come to the tag sale to have a relationship with me. That's it. Pay it forward. So when you take a book, tell me how you liked it, and that'd be good, and then give the book to someone else. So that's kind of a change in the way that I'm relating to transactions, and it's developing an open connection to people. It's kind of an experiment. I guess Donna's been talking about this in various ways with her books and giving away various other gifts and things, and I guess that's going pretty well, which is really cool. But this is really an opportunity to connect in to change and to begin to look at how we all can do things differently. And for me, the energy of 2014 can look at, what do I expect from a relationship, and begin to open up to greater possibilities. Who knows? Maybe I'll start a book club with one of these people, or maybe I won't deal with them ever again, but I'm simply asking and letting it be and see what eventually happens. Now, we're really talking again. Oh, and in the chat room, Donna mentions that when she did the meditation, that the people wanted to be acknowledged. And that could be helpful guidance for you in that they could be helping you in various ways. It can look as they're really an aspect of yourself. So these other individuals, it could be strength, it could be courage, for instance, as it could be a dream and you see these people come up to you, simply acknowledging them and thanking them for their service to you. And that can be very helpful in your life to really begin to recognize how you do have strength, how you do have courage and compassion, and see which parts of yourself are typically utilized and begin to allow them greater space in your life and allow them to come through. And for me, the curious, playful creator person, the magician, comes through in these experiments where I'm giving the books away, for instance, or whatever it is that I have that I am not using anyway. I mentioned gadgets, so I have more books than shelf space, so that's what I'm working with. But it's really looking at, okay, what parts of myself can really start to shine and come through. And I guess we can look at that as we're talking about the tarot, as perhaps the magician and allow that to come shining through and see what can be created. Maybe it's something I didn't even think about and don't really have to think about, but simply allow it to happen. And that's what's really neat. When we start to connect with this energy, it's that it's really dynamic, it's fun, it's powerful, and it doesn't have to be strenuous or difficult. And that's when we really start to open up our lives, open up to the possibilities, and recognize where we can make our lives abundant and flowing. And it really starts with ourselves opening up to our curiosity and being willing to open that door and see what's behind it. I always remember watching Let's Make a Deal and wondering, would I open the door or would I take whatever I had in the little box that Monty gave me? And I think people really are curious naturally, and most times they'd open the door and there'd be a goat. Well, really, what's wrong with the goat? I mean, the goat can eat your grass and you can make soap, and there's a whole lot of things and that can happen with the goat. It can keep your garbage level down in your lawn. So although it was meant to be a joke, I really think that we can start to look at what we do have in our lives with new eyes. So even if you don't get what you want out of your experiment or from the meditation, that perhaps look at it with new, fresh eyes and begin to explore your world from that vantage point. What happens when you do that? Maybe new things will really start to unfold for you, and your curiosity is piqued, and you really start to have synchronous and coincidental events beginning to unfold in your life, and maybe it will become a lot easier to make choices, and you won't fear making change so much. And that's pretty cool in itself, stepping away from the fear and the doubt and the worry and really allowing change to just unfold and stopping to listen to all the mind chatter. No, we can't make that change because it'll be difficult, or it'll be a hardship, or it'll be a struggle. Simply allow it to unfold rather than worry about what it's going to look like. And that's where we become really the creators of our lives. And I think that's what we can benefit a great deal from, is when we become a creator, we really benefit from being a active part of our own lives. And we're coming up to the end of the show. So if you enjoyed this show, I'd like to thank you and allow you to comment or make suggestions about upcoming shows. Now next week we're going to have a special show. Deborah Cohen, who was on this show last year, I believe in June, will come on and talk about the GMO food marches and a group called Activate CT, which is strongly involved in the World Food March here in Connecticut and connected to other groups in and around Connecticut with the same purpose. She'll be on talking about GMO awareness and how you can help out your communities. So please tune in for that show and learn more about what she has to offer and Activate CT has to offer. And that's October 10th at 10 p.m. And I believe the World Food March will be that weekend, October 12th. So times and dates and places are all over the social media. You can easily find where one is close to you. In Connecticut, it's in Hartford. And please do help and support these groups, as they're not only helping us to be more aware of our food, they're helping us to be more actively involved and engaged in our civic and community life, and that's important. Now, if you have an article or art or poetry and you'd like to be part of the Awakened Radio community, you can contribute to our Thrive magazine. It simply has to be related to the topics that we cover here at Awakened Radio. So well-being, spirituality, creativity, abundance. Really connect into that and open your heart to something and share that with us. And then we'll share a link from your site into the magazine, and we'll help to have you reach a greater community. If you'd like to sponsor this show or any of the other shows here at Awakened Radio, we have that opportunity as well. And your 30-second ad will be played at the start, middle, and end of each show. And again, as long as your business is related to the topics that we talk about here on awakenedradio.net, we'll be accepting it and allow it into our broadcasts. And keep in mind that our shows are every week, so it'll be played at least 4 times a month, and then it'll be put into the archives and uploaded into TalkShoe and iTunes and available as long as those are available. So it's a great opportunity to promote your business, connect with us, and help each other grow and expand. Now, next week I mentioned there's the World Food March. If there's other activities that you'd like to spread the word about that have a positive and uplifting aim, then please do contact us here and allow us to know about it, and perhaps we have someone that can cover your event live, or at least talk to you before or after the event and help to spread the message. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and please do stay with us next week as we have Deborah Cohen coming back. So tune in next week, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, and see what she has to talk about. Again, very important message. Thanks for connecting with us this week. I'll talk with you again on next Thursday. Thank you.
And like we're all eyes open, showing our inside and light so bright.
Whether I'm on the go or just at home laying low, I listen to awakenedradio.net. This is Ingrid Geronimo telling you should tune in too.